Okay. So phenolphthalein is an indicator. It is an indicator in solution form. Solution form means it is in liquid form. It is colorless. It is a colorless solution. Okay, just like a water. Actually, this phenolphthalein indicator is just like a water. We cannot identify it is an indicator. It is just, it's a colorless solution. Okay, and how we can identify whether the given substance is acidic or basic with the help of this phenolphthalein?
When put that will
Yes.
will change.
Yes, if we are add this phenolphthalein, phenolphthalein is an indicator, it is a colorless solution. If we add this phenolphthalein into basic solution, it turns it into pink color. Okay, so phenolphthalein. Yes,
Each number.
page number 54. Page number 54. If the solution is basic, phenolphthalein gives a pink color. It gives a pink color. Okay, so when you add this phenolphthalein solution into a basic or into a base or alkali, what happens? It changes the color into a pink. It turns it into pink color. It indicates the presence of base or alkali. If it is added into acidic, there is no color change occurs. If the solution is acidic, no color change. There will be no color change. Okay. So this is the third indicator that we are introduced today, which is phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is a colorless solution. If we are add the phenolphthalein, actually it is an indicator that is used to check whether the given substance is acidic or base, just like that of the turmeric indicator or litmus paper and all. If we are add this phenolphthalein into a basic solution, it turns it into pink color. It indicates the presence of base or alkali. But if we are add this phenolphthalein into a solution and it is remains colorless, which indicate the presence of acidic. That substance, the given object is acidic in nature. So that's all about the phenolphthalein solution. So today we are going to discuss the last topic of this chapter, neutralization. Is it over?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Take your own time. So phenolphthalein is an indicator obtained in solution form. It is a colorless solution. If you add the phenolphthalein into a basic, it turns it into pink color. If you are adding this phenolphthalein into an acidic solution, it remains colorless. There will be no color change. Particular color changes occurs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All of you write the next heading, neutralization. Neutralization. Neutralization.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by neutral? Neutralization. We heard about neutral state. What do you mean by neutral state?
It is neither acidic or basic substance.
Nor basic. Very good. The substance which is neither acidic nor basic are called neutral. They are not showing either acidic characteristics nor basic characteristics. That is what is meant by neutral. Then what do you mean by neutralization? Neutralization is a process by which acids combine with the alkali or base, they together form salt and water. Okay, so what all things is happen? Acid combine with whom? Acid plus base or alkali. Base or alkali, both are same. When acid is combines with the base, what we obtained? We get
Salt.
salt. Salt plus water. Salt plus water. We know that salt is a neutral substance. Water is also a neutral substance. They are neither shows the property of acidic substances nor the basic substances. So the process in which acid combine with the base and form salt and water is known as neutralization. So let us see the definition for this neutralization. Okay, so here you can see some point by point. Neutralization happens when an alkali is mixed with an acid. So neutralization is a process when it is happen when an alkali, here alkali is mixed with the acid. We take a beaker and we add both the alkali and the acid together into a beaker. What is the product? What will be the product obtained in this beaker? It is
Salt and water.
Salt and water. Okay, so please keep this picture in your mind. This is what is known as neutralization. When we are add alkali and acid together, it gives salt and water. This process is known as neutralization. This is a chemical reaction because a new substance are produced. Yes? Yes, dear?
What is alkali?
Alkali is nothing. Alkali is base. Alkali and base both are same. Okay. We already mentioned it in our previous class. Alkali and base both are same. Alkali is another name that we are used instead of base. So whenever, yes, write this point by point. Write the heading neutralization and then write neutralization is happens when alkali is mixed with the acid. Instead of alkali, you can use base. Instead of alkali, you can use base. No problem. Both are same. When acid is mixed with the base, we get neutralization. The process of neutralization takes place. And this is a chemical reaction. Why it is called a chemical reaction?
Because a new substance is
New
formed.
substances are formed. Instead of acid and base, here we get what the products are formed after neutralization?
Salt and water.
Salt and water is produced. That is why it is a chemical reaction. And this is the representation of neutralization. That is, instead of alkali, you can write base. Base plus acid gives salt plus water. Base plus acid gives salt plus water. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
do we have to write all the points?
You only need to write up to here. And this is for your higher studies. You can say what you mean by reactants and what you mean by products. I will explain it with the help of a slide. Okay. So here in this case, we have already written. Yes.
It's not over. Can you share the slide?
Okay, okay. It can be represented by the following equation. Base plus acid gives salt plus water. So here we are writing an equation form. What is our equation? Base plus
acid equals
Base
to
plus
salt and water.
Plus water.
salt plus water, right? So here the terms that we are write on the left hand side. This is the left side and this is the right side, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the terms that we are write on the left side is known as reactants, because here base and acid react together. They are known as reactants. And here the salt and water is obtained on the right hand side. They are known as, any idea? Products. Products. Okay. So here we have reactants and products. You just keep all these terms in your mind. It will be helpful for your higher studies. So the terms that we are right on the left side is known as reactants. The terms that is right on the right side is known as products. Okay, so whenever you write an equation, all the terms present in the left side represent whom? It represents
Reactants.
reactants. And what all things that you are obtained after combining these two equations are called product, and product should be right on which side?
Right side.
Right
Right
side.
side. Okay, that's all.
Ma'am, over.
All right, all right. Okay, so now we can move to the next slide. So here we have naming salt, because we know what type of salt is formed after each reaction. That is what is we are going to discuss next. So the type of salt that is formed after each reaction will be depends upon the nature of the acid and that of the alkali. For example, here we have two types of reactants are there. One is sodium. Sodium is a base. Okay. And here we are taking hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is a acid. So here the two things are there. One is sodium. Sodium is a base. Hydrochloric acid is a acid. Okay. So here we are going to combine these two things. One is sodium. It is the base plus hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is the acid. Combined together forms what? Salt. What is salt formed here? Sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide plus water. Okay. So here this is the base. Hydrochloric acid is the acid. They combine together forms sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is the salt. Plus here we have water. Or in mathematical form we can write sodium is represented by a symbol Na. Are you familiar with the symbol sodium?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sodium is represented by a symbol Na, and hydrochloric acid is represented by HCl. H for hydro, Cl for chlorine. Both of them are combined together form hydrochloric acid. Okay, so here we have sodium. Okay, 1 minute, there is a change in the equation. Base is not sodium, base is sodium hydroxide. Base is sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is combined with the hydrochloric acid and they form sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is the salt. Sodium chloride plus water. Okay. So here we have sodium hydroxide. It is represented by NaOH. React with hydrochloric acid gives sodium chloride, that is NaCl plus H2O. This NaCl, sodium chloride, is what is known as salt that we are used in our homes, right? Or NaCl that we are normally used in the chemistry labs or science labs. This NaCl is there. So here we have NaOH plus HCl gives NaCl plus H2O. NaOH plus HCl gives NaCl plus H2O. Similarly, can you give, I will give you another example. Try to form a salt by yourself. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The similar form. I will give you another example. Calcium hydroxide, CaOH plus HCl. Try to form a salt and water here. CaOH plus HCl. Try to correlate it with NaOH. NaOH plus HCl gives NaCl plus H2O. Similarly, here we have another base, calcium hydroxide, CaOH plus HCl gives
CaHCl.
not HCl.
CaCl.
CaCl, very good. CaCl plus remaining is H2O.
Water.
Water is represented by H2O. H2O is the symbol, chemical representation of water. Okay. CaCl plus H2O. I will give you another example. If it is a magnesium hydroxide, MgOH, magnesium hydroxide plus HCl gives
MgCl
yes
plus H2O.
plus water. That's all. This is the way in which the salt is formed whenever the acid and base combine. Okay. Similarly, aluminium hydroxide. Actually, it is a complicated reaction. That's all. Calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. Whenever it is react with the HCl, they are combined together, forms corresponding salt and water. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the salt formed will be depends upon the type of acid and base which is react together. So MgCl salt is formed whenever the MgOH is react with the HCl. Similarly, CaCl salt is formed whenever the calcium hydroxide is react with the HCl. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So now we are moved to the last portion. Neutralization in daily life. So write the next heading, neutralization in daily life. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Neutralization in daily life. Okay. So now we can check what are the application of neutralization in our daily life. The first one is insect stings. Applications of neutralization. Insect stings. Okay. So we know that whenever the ant or bees, they are bites, what happens? They produce some kind of acid. What is the acid produced in ant bite or that insect bite?
Formic acid.
Very good, excellent. Formic acid.
Formic acid.
Okay, formic acid. So bee stings are acidic and can be neutralized with baking soda. Wasp stings are alkaline and can be neutralized with the vinegar. Okay. So bee stings are acidic in nature. They produce some kind of acid called the formic acid. So it causing some kind of irritation or itching in that affected area. It can be neutralized. So in order to neutralize something which is acid in nature, we need to add some kind of base. So for that, here we are adding a base called the baking soda. Have you heard about this term baking soda?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Soda something that we are add whenever we prepare the appam and or cake. The cake bakers are are familiar with this baking soda. So
Yes,
baking
ma'am.
soda is actually a base or it is an alkali. Whenever we are add this baking soda to this affected area, we can neutralize this acid produced by this bee stings. So try it whenever we are suffered with a bee sting, whenever it bites, we just try it. Wasp stings are alkaline. Wasp stings are alkaline and it can be neutralized with the vinegar. So these are the application of neutralization. If a bee sting happens, it is acidic in nature. So neutralize it with the help of baking soda. If it is wasp sting,
Ma'am, what is wasp?
it is something like that of a family of the bee. I will show the image here. 1 minute. Next application of neutralization is indigestion. Indigestion. Okay. We know that our stomach carries around hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is produced by our stomach in order to digest the food particles. But in some situations, excess amount of hydrochloric acid is produced by our stomach causes acidity. Okay. A disease called acidity. So we felt very painful stomach ache or some kind of irritations is felt. So in order to cure this indigestion, you can neutralize the excess acid with baking soda or specialized indigestion tablets are there. Sometimes you may be heard about gelycerin. Gelycerin tablets are available in order to reduce this acidity. So in digestion, our stomach carries around hydrochloric acid. Too much of this hydrochloric acid leads to indigestion. Okay, if too much amount of hydrochloric acid is present, it will cause us indigestion. In order to cure this indigestion, you can neutralize this excess acid with the help of baking soda or specialized indigestion tablets. Actually, this condition is normally known as acidity. You just ask to your parents, they will say more about the acidity. Sometimes you maybe say about it is gas and all. Whenever you feel to the stomach ache or pain, feeling pain, sometimes your parents maybe said it is because of indigestion. The food is not digested. That is why. So it is because of acidity. A excess amount of hydrochloric acid is produced by our stomach. Actually, it is harmful than that of our digestion. It is not actually not helpful for digestion. It causes indigestion. Is it over?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So here we have two applications of neutralization: insect sting, indigestion. So whenever the bee sting occurs, it is acidic in nature, neutralized it with baking soda. If it is a wasp sting, it is alkaline in nature, so neutralized it with the vinegar. Now the second case, it is indigestion. Indigestion is nothing. We know that when excess amount of hydrochloric acid is synthesized by the stomach, it causes acidity. So in order to neutralize it, we can take baking soda or indigestion tablets. Okay. Now the next one, using hair conditioner after shampoo. Using hair conditioners after shampoo. It is also an application of neutralization. Does the screen is visible?
Ma'am, it's visible.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it is
Okay.
visible.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all right. Most shampoos are weakly alkaline and they make our hair unmanageable by causing small scales. Because conditioners are acidic, they neutralize the alkalinity from shampoos and cause the scales to close up. That is why after using the shampoos, we are apply the conditioners. So this conditioners and that of these shampoos, both of them combined together and it is in a state of neutralization. Shampoos are alkaline in nature, but conditioners are acidic in nature. Both of them are combined together, make it is a neutralized state. Okay. That's all. Is it over?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we have 2 more slides are there. I think it is better to wind up the class here. Okay.